This is how you make good old sawmill gravy here in the South. Typically, if you fried some bacon or some sausage, you're going to save that bacon grease or that sausage grease, and your sausage will have a few crumbles left in it. That's okay too. That just makes your gravy all the better. Now, I will say this, if you're using bacon, it makes a lot of grease, so you might want to pour out some of that bacon grease. But I like to do our turkey sausage with some olive oil, and I always put olive oil in the bottom of the skillet when I make the turkey sausage. And when I'm done, I save that. And now I'm putting in 2 heaping tablespoons of flour, and that is basically what you always want to make sure you have, at least 2 tablespoons of flour in just a normal, I guess this is like a 10-inch skillet. And go ahead and put that in with your oil. I can't tell you how much oil is in this pan. I'm going to guess maybe 1/3 of a cup, something like that. Put 2 heaping tablespoons of flour in it. Sometimes it takes 3 heaping tablespoons. You just have to play around with it. And then you're going to make a paste. I've got my stovetop eye off at the moment because that grease is still hot. Now I'm going to cut it on. And I'm going to cut it on low to medium. And I'm going to slowly add the milk. Now you can use whole milk. You can use 2%. I would say even 1% works. And you know what? If you don't have any milk and you have some dry coffee creamer, you can mix that with water and make milk. And you can make gravy out of it because, believe it or not, I've done that back in the day. But go ahead and mix this up really well. And you don't want to leave this for too long. And you're going to slowly add that milk. Continuously stirring this because, believe it or not, making good old sawmill gravy and to make it smooth takes patience. If you wonder why your gravy is lumpy, it's because you've not been patient enough to blend everything and to keep stirring. And what happens when you get lumpy gravy is because you walked away for too long and it's stuck a little to the bottom of the pan, and when you go to stir, guess what? You're creating clumps. Just lumpy gravy, that's what it is. So you really have to be patient and stir. And now I did go ahead and put in some cracked black pepper, and I put quite a bit of that. I'm going to guess you'll start out with a teaspoon. And then I like to add ground pepper too. But then again, you do you. I like a lot of pepper. So if you don't, then just cut back on the pepper. But this is so good. And some people even put a pinch of sugar in their gravy. I do not. I do not like that sweet taste. Also, you will add salt to this as well. And I don't add that until the end because I just feel like I'm getting less sodium if I don't cook it into my food, and I wait to salt it later. But I do add salt to it. Maybe 1/4 teaspoon of salt to this. And again, we're just going to keep stirring. Make sure you stir around the sides too. Don't let it stick anywhere. Keep adding that milk. Patience, grasshopper, patience. This probably takes about 15 minutes standing at the stovetop, but it is so worth it. This is so good. It will make you slap your mama. And y'all, we really don't slap our mamas around here. Not at all, because we get slapped back. But I just want to tell you something very personal. This is my absolute favorite meal. Gravy and biscuits. I had made a pan of biscuits, and I cannot have biscuits without sawmill gravy or chocolate gravy. That is just my all-time favorite, absolute favorite, #1 food that I love. And I could eat it all the time, but I don't because it's, not so good on the waistline. But now you're starting to see this thicken. And as it starts to thicken, don't wait until it's totally thickened. as it starts to get thicker, we're going to go ahead and pour it into this bowl, because what happens is it cools off and it just keeps getting thicker and thicker. So you don't want that. Your gravy will end up like mashed potatoes. So it's going to start to bubble and start to thicken. We're going to pour it in a bowl, and voila. Isn't that beautiful? And look how clean that pan is, because I had patience, because it's so worth it. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. Now y'all go make you some biscuits and gravy.